Guys, this is fireweed, also known as great willow herb or rosebay willow herb or blitzweed. Lots of different names for this stuff, guys, and this plant has lots of different medicinal properties. Okay, now as you know, if you watch this channel, I am on a quest to find a plant that I can use without charring, to instantly, or with a little bit of processing, to get it to take a light from flint and steel, guys. And what I'm going to try next, you guessed it, fireweed. Stay tuned. So this is it. This is it. It's a very beautiful plant, guys. And it's got a lot going on with it, okay? There's a lot of stuff going on. So this is, this plant, they call it fireweed because it springs up after a fire. It's called blitzweed because it grew all over London after it was bombed in World War II. Guys, it's quite easy just to pull it out by the roots. And the stalks here themselves are quite fibrous, okay? Fibrous in the same way as nettles are. So that's what had me thinking that maybe this is something else that might work with flint and steel. Not that I've got anything to work so far. Guys, also, these seed pods pop open into this downy fluff, okay? See that? Right, everything's wet. It's been raining for days, guys. So what I want to do is I want to harvest some of this, and I want to break it down and see if there's any way that we can set this on fire with a little bit of drying, okay? It might be a little bit tedious, but hey, we don't mind. Another cool thing about this, guys, that I didn't realize until quite recently, is that the elephant hawk moth, which is a really cool moth, nearly the same color as this, like an luminous pink, right? It loves this plant, right? And it will actually, its caterpillars will live in the roots of this, and then they will come out, guys. And if you have ever seen one, or if you have never seen one, they're about this big, okay? And they are like the thickness of my thumb, and they look like an elephant's trunk, and they look like a little bit like a snake as well. They are such a striking caterpillar and such a striking moth as well, guys, okay? They are really cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to harvest some of these. I have plenty. It grows everywhere. Guys, if you are a subscriber to my other channel, you will have seen me struggle to remove this stuff from this pitch, just this area just right behind me. Okay, so I'm gonna just pop these out. So I've gone in under some cover, guys. It might be a little bit darker, but at least I have got the camera out of the rain. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to process this down. I might try and process it, focus, the same way that I did the nettles. Just use the knife and just scrape it off like this, and see if I can get most of the fibers out of it that way. There is a couple of other ways of processing it, all very similar to the way you would process nettles. There's a couple of different ways I can do this, right? What I'm thinking. But I'm hoping I can do it with a knife. I have my mortar. I think this is the mortar part. I'm not really sure, okay? Now, I should just be able to strip the fibers from this by removing the pith. Just sort of snap it, remove these bits. do find that this type of way can be very time consuming. So I'm going to try and see. But look there, this is what I'm pulling off, guys. This bit here. Go Bruno, it's your birthday. And what I'm going to do with that is I'm going to dry it. I'm going to flake it up and I'm going to dry it. But before I do that, I want to see how it works with a knife. Much easier. Check that out. Much easier. So guys, this is just a halter for safety knife. I just happen to have it here. I have a fair few of them, but so you actually end up with quite a lot of this stuff. So this is what I've processed. Okay, I'm dropping it all over the place. Stay out of it, Bruno. This is what I've processed so far, and what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to leave this to dry. You see that? I'm going to leave this to dry for a little while. It's very wet, so I might leave it for a couple of days and see how it gets on. And then I'm going to fluff it up and break it up and see if we can get it to take a light with flint and steel. Guys, what you can see is that I actually have a fair bit of this left. Okay, so it doesn't take a lot. So I've let these dry. This is the willow herb, guys. The willow herb. I've let it dry. I have a huge big lump of chert here as well. Okay, which is like, for want of a better description, it's a subspecies. It's a subspecies of rock that is similar to what do you call it? Flint. So I'm trying to get the biggest piece that I can, the biggest piece of stone that I can to do this with. Okay, so this is it. This is big. This is the fluffed up. This is what falls out of it. Okay, so see, the thing is that there's pine needles and everything mixed into this, but there is quite a bit of the fluffy head as well. So this is like flash tinder mixed in and everything, you know. So I'm going to give it a shot and see how I get on. I haven't used this yet, so plenty of sparks anyway. Smells class. Oh, that was a good burny one. This is taking really good sparks, or really good chips off. Ow! It went. Now, I know I'm doing it the wrong way around, but it's about 50-50 in where the sparks go, and this is sort of more comfortable for me to do. Ow, right in the nose. I don't really want to be using a ferro rod, guys. That'll definitely go. The reason why I don't want to be using a ferro rod is because then you're sort of charring it, if that makes sense. Oh, so we'll take a little piece off here, and we'll do this bit with a ferro rod. That gives me hope. That gives me hope. Definitely feel like this is giving me bigger sparks. Guys, that is another inconsistent one. I do keep coming back to the same thing. I do keep coming back to flint and steel and consistency and my abilities, okay? Now, this is the thing. All of these materials will go on fire. Every single thing I have tested. If you have a flint and steel, or sorry, if you have a ferro rod, it will work. So the journey of discovery is not wasted. You know, all this will work as a tinder bundle. Every single thing, you know, so the Lalandi bark, everything I have tested, guys, will burn in some shape or form. So I just got to find something that is easier. I just have to find something that has a lower spark temperature, a lower sparking temperature, okay? That's what I'm going to have to do. So guys, another maybe. Thanks guys, one of these days I'm going to bloody get one. I am promising you that. Thanks for watching. Stay frosty.